विभाव्यते गिरिप्रश्रवण सोऽयमत्र गोदावरी नदी.
The Ganga, the Indus, the Godavari, three rivers on whose time-hallowed banks was written much of the history of India and her people. Least known is the Godavari, flowing across the rich soil of the Deccan Plateau. There is poetry in the birth of the giant Godavari, a humble beginning from a cow head carved on the rocks of the Brahmagiri hills in the western Ghats. It is a sacred place for Hindus. Thousands of pilgrims climb to a height of over 4,000 feet above sea level to worship at the temple built over the river's source. Flowing underground, the Godavari moves quietly to the village of Trimbakeshwar in the foothills. The ancient temple of Trimbakeshwar is one of the 12 most sacred temples in India. Passing over this immersed symbol of Shiv, purifying herself, the Godavari is ready to serve those who live on her banks. Holding the Godavari's waters, Kushavartha Tirth is the venue of a Kumbh Mela every 12 years. Here too is the shrine of Nivritinath, Saint Dhyaneshwar's guru and elder brother. Till a thin stream, the Godavari leaves this village to become a great river. Ignoring the Arabian Sea 50 miles to the west, the Godavari curves 900 miles eastward towards the Bay of Bengal. Maharashtra in Bombay state is the first to receive her waters. And so to Nasik, the first important city on the banks of the Godavari, and one of the 7 sacred cities of India. Here were immersed part of the ashes of Mahatma Gandhi, immortal as the river that now passes by this memorial to him. In historic Nasik are many memorials, temples and ghats dedicated to Ram, Sita and Lakshman. They passed weary long days of exile here. Nasik, standing strategically on the old trade route, was the headquarters of many Hindu and Muslim rulers, and is still a prosperous city. Large, lush vineyards surround the city. For Nasik, the grape is a cash crop, and large quantities are sent to all parts of India. The rich soil of Nasik will produce more and more of these agricultural products when this newly constructed dam at Gangapur irrigates the region. Nearby, the Ahmednagar district is well irrigated by the Madhmeshwar Dam at the confluence of the Godavari and the Kadwa rivers. These waters of the Godavari have been a boon to the farmers of the Kopargaon area, where new sugar factories are being built and run on cooperative lines. With such rich harvests, bullock carts loaded with cane are a common sight in Kopargaon. They carry the cane to the crushing factories in the Ahmednagar district. Another important product of this district is gur, made of course from cane juice. fields are rich with many other crops. A typical millets area, jawar is an important food crop. Just as Nasik district is renowned for its grapes, the Nagar district boasts of sweet lime. Spreading its bounty as it flows, the Godavari says farewell to Kopargaon and enters Puntamba. It is the site of the 660-year-old Samadhi of Saint Changdev, a contemporary of Dhyaneshwar. And on to the Dhyaneshwari temple at Nevasi. Here a teenage saint rewrote in the language of the people the wisdom of the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads. Later, meeting the Pravara river, the Godavari ends her journey in Bombay state to enter Hyderabad. Hyderabad state, which straddles the center of the Deccan, is inhabited by Marathi, Kannada and Telugu-speaking peoples. The first town in Hyderabad to be touched by the river is Paitan. It is symbolic of the mixed culture of this region and is one of the oldest cities of the Deccan, originally known as Pratishthan. 100 years before the birth of Christ, it was the capital of the Andhra king Pulumayi II and also of Shalivahan. But today this town is remembered for its associations with the great Maharashtrian saint Eknath, who was buried here in 1599. He was a courageous reformer, determined to cleanse Hindu society of the evil of untouchability. Passing Ganga Khed with its fortified walls, beautiful ghats and 300-year-old buildings, the Godavari reaches Nanded, a trading town with an historical background. The shrine of Guru Govind, the great warrior and religious leader of the Sikhs of the 17th century, makes Nanded a place of pilgrimage for people of all communities. At the confluence of the Godavari and the Kaddam rivers, a new dam is under construction. These structures, the temples of 20th century India, are stepping stones to the giant Godavari project in Hyderabad. Work is also in progress to harness the water wealth of the Godavari in the Karimnagar district. The Adilabad thermal power station will be one of the largest units in India. It is located at Ramagundam. On the opposite bank is the busy trading center of Mancherial. From here, valuable bamboo goes to Kagaznagar, 40 miles away for paper manufacture. And in this dramatic jungle setting, the Godavari has yet to pass through thick forests over the land of the Gonds. Into Andhra, the last lap of her journey. Now cutting a wide bed, the river rushes with her full force between the borders of Andhra and Hyderabad. The Godavari becomes navigable at Bhadrachalam. A famous Ram temple, built in the 15th century, is located here. Flowing placidly through flat country, the Godavari enters this narrow gorge in a beautiful setting in the eastern Ghats. The river is deep now, and its waters connect the scattered villages. All kinds of timber are available in the forests along the banks. The roads are few and far between, but the river solves the transport problem. Rajamundry is a clearing center for woods of all types. 30,000 people work in this trade that brings in lakhs of rupees. Rajamundry is an industrious town where rich and poor all earn their livelihood. This 2-mile railway bridge takes you to this town, originally known as Rajamahendravaram, after its Chalukya king Rajaraja Narendra. Holding a key position on the river, it passed from one dynasty to another, and many battles were fought for its possession. 5 miles ahead, the river bifurcates into 2 main streams, the Gautami and the Vashistha Godavari. At this point, the Godavari is 5 miles wide, more a sea than a river. Above the bifurcation, a masonry dam cuts across the main stream, the famous Cotton Anicut. A network of sluices and canals is also spread across the fertile soil of this great delta, bringing the perennial water of the Godavari to thousands of farms. Yet only 8% of her waters are used along the 900-mile course. One of the most ingenious plans in this engineering system is the Gannavaram aqueduct. The canals are navigable throughout the irrigated area, bringing prosperity to millions.
పొంగిపోయింది గోదావరి తెప్పున్న ఎగసింది గోదావరి 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 పొంగిపోయింది గోదావరి తాను తెప్పున్న ఎగసింది గోదావరి కొండల్లో ఉరికింది కోనల్లో నిండింది ఆకాశగంగతో హస్తాలు కలిపింది ఆకాశగంగతో హస్తాలు కలిపింది పొంగిపోయింది గోదావరి తాను తెప్పున్న ఎగసింది గోదావరి 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 అడవి చెట్లన్నీ జడలలో తురిమింది ఉళ్ళు దండలు గుద్ది మెడలోన దాల్చి.
The Godavari has fulfilled her mission. It has been a long and eventful journey across an entire peninsula. Passing Narsapuram and Yanam, the waters of the Ganga of the south join the sea. Out of the mountains of Maharashtra, hurrying across the plains of the Deccan, and cutting a wide track through jungles down to the sea, the Godavari is truly the great mother, uniting and sustaining her children in the south.
గోదావరి